All right, I'm just going to admit it. It is not Bastila. It is BASTILA. All right, my friends, with the introduction of BASTILA Fallen into the holo tables, a lot of people are asking if she's going to fit into a Traya team, a Sith team, to beat Revan. Now, the short answer to this actually does appear to be yes. There's a lot to this, and I've got more questions about this, but this is potentially really huge for a lot of you Traya users out there. Seeing that Sith tag was big. As soon as I saw that there was a Sith tag there, I thought, all right, this might be workable, and it definitely seems to be something that is going to work. Now, there's a debate here on if it's going to be better to use Palpatine lead or Traya lead. I know Arnold posted today. It looks like he's got Palpatine lead working. He's going to make a video on that soon. Be sure to check that out. I'm only showing Traya lead, and I've got 4 guys that have sent me footage. Some others did too, but not everybody made it into the video. And it's going to be showcasing these teams in live shards. 4 different Traya teams working against 4 different Revan teams, and all the mods, of course, are being shown here for you, at least the speed stats. And you'll notice here with all of these teams, this is what I think is perhaps the most significant to point out, is that they're doing it with 3- and 4-star BASTILA Fallens, and they're doing it with no Zeta as well. Now, I don't think it should be that big of a surprise that the Zeta is not necessary, because all the Zeta adds to her unique ability is foresight for her and the leader at the beginning of the battle, and, I mean, when you're going against Revan teams, Marked is going to evade foresight anyway, so it doesn't really evade hit through, or however you want to say that. It's not really going to matter much, but 3- and 4-stars, we're not going to need to wail on this. For a lot of you who, this is going to be really huge for you free-to-play players out there who've been playing for a long time, you weren't able to get Revan, you're not able to wail out on a character just to beat a character you also couldn't wail out on, and so this seems to be very helpful for me. So there's 2 questions that I have about this that I want to address. Number 1, does it make the battles easier? It's not really that crazy for Traya to beat Revan at the end of the day. If you've got a Traya team that's modded well enough, a lot of you are able to beat Revan. It just kind of comes down to RNG. Sometimes those matches aren't going to be very manageable. Sometimes they will be. I am being told by all of these folks who are running this team that it does feel like it's making the battles quite a bit easier, actually, and the RNG component is a little less of a variable. One guy in particular said he was going from winning about 75 to 80% of his battles to winning 100% of his battles. He had not lost a battle yet since putting in BASTILA Fallen. So that's really important to point out. The next one is, does it hold on defense? And that is, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, that's going to be a little bit more of a variable. I don't think anything's going to, if you want to hold on defense against a Revan team with a Traya team, I think that you're probably just asking too much no matter what you're using right now. So I think that's probably unlikely. I would probably want to sub in my Sith Trooper overnight, just in case. Maybe if you wail out and you've got the full gear 12 maxed out BASTILA Fallen, maybe I'll hold better on defense, but I feel like this is more of an offensive solution. But that, again, remains to be seen as this progresses. A lot of, I mean, we just got her today, so these guys don't quite have her long enough to know how well they hold on defense. I'm just speculating here. So the reason this is going to work, what makes this team effective against Revan teams, is that it's going to help keep Traya alive. And if you look at her unique ability, Sith Apprentice, it gives plus 50% defense and plus 50% tenacity to the leader of the battle. So whoever your leader is, Traya in this case, and Bastila. Now that 50% defense and tenacity is huge for keeping Traya alive. What makes Revan so good against Traya is that he immobilizes Traya in 9 out of 10 battles. He's going to mark Traya every time. She's going to die before she can even isolate anybody in almost every battle. What you're seeing here in this footage and why this ends up working is because that unique ability is making Traya survivable enough to survive that initial onslaught of attacks from Marked, and then as a result, that marked is eventually going to fall off of her. She's going to be able to heal, and then you're going to be able to utilize her kit against Revan, and then the team gels together, and you're able to, as a result, win the battle. Now, it also helps increase Treya's DPS, because when the lead and, or I think it's just the lead or Bastila are marked, or they get Death Mark or Shock. But in this case, Mark is the most significant. Both the lead and Bastila gain 5% offense stacking for the rest of the battle, up to 100%. And so it also helps give that offense boost that you need to do more damage against the Jedi, because you need to kill those Jedi fast. At least burn through the first Savior, and then you'll be on your way. But of course, having a Nihilist on your side and Annihilate is going to be absolutely fantastic against Jolee, which most Revan teams are going to be running Jolee with the Zeta, so they're going to be able to revive. Not if you Annihilate them, though. And keeping Treya alive through that first round of the marked attacks is going to be huge in enabling your Nihilist to annihilate some other characters. Now, some general attack strategy and modding information. First of all, when it comes to mods, you are going to want to have a critical avoidance arrow on Treya. We've talked about this before. It still kind of blows my mind that I'm advising anybody to use a critical avoidance stat for anything, but trust me, this is working for these people to put a critical avoidance arrow on their Treya to help, again, add some additional survivability, minimize those critical hits coming in at the beginning of the battle when Treya is inevitably going to be marked by Revan. After that, you're also going to want to have high tenacity on Treya. Now, 50% tenacity is great from Bastila's, unique ability, but let's get some more there. That's going to help also increase that survivability. Now, from an attack strategy standpoint, there is some debate, and I'm not sure what the consensus is on this. It might be a case-by-case, what are the mods like for you scenario. But what I'm reading is fracturing Revan is best. Some people feel like fracturing Grandmaster Yoda is best, but I'm also reading from a few of my friends here that you're seeing footage of that fracturing Yoda actually tends to lead to lost battles. And so a big reason why it helps to fracture Revan is just to slow down that second marked. Because the first one, if you can survive it, great. The second one's going to be that much harder to survive. So you want to keep these characters alive as long as possible so you can utilize their kit and, take these Jedi out, and especially keep Nihilus alive so he can pick off a few with Annihilate before it's too late. If you fracture Yoda, it's very nice to slow down that machine that is, adding so much DPS to the field of play. But ultimately, if you get to that second round of marked, it might not matter whether or not Yoda's bouncing around all over the place, because your team is going to die from that as well. So it's kind of, to me, it feels like pick your poison. But again, the reports that I'm hearing from these guys are definitely that fracturing Yoda is less effective than fracturing Revan. All right, this is a very basic overview. I want to hear what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Some concluding thoughts about this team. Number one, she's not going to give Revan issues on defense. Let me reiterate that and make that clear. If you want to have the best defensive team in your shard, that involves having Revan. If you don't have Revan, you're not going to have the best defensive team in your shard 99 out of 100 times. There may be an exception somewhere, and if there is, please tell me about it, because I would like to know who's pulling that off and what their mods look like. It's probably going to be somebody with just stupid mods. So just be aware of that if you're looking at farming this character. She is making battles easier for Treya users. That is a huge win. A lot of people are having a lot of frustrations with the RNG matchup of Treya versus Revan. Even though a lot are able to pull off with the right mods, I don't like relying on RNG to win battles. And so if we're removing some of that RNG, making it a little more reliable, big win for you guys. I'm happy for you. She's probably going to be really important as well for committed guilds to farm to gear 11. If I am a gear, or if I'm a guild leader and Territory Wars is top priority, I need to have solid counters to all of the Revan teams I'm going against. And right now, if I would strongly urge all of you to take her to gear 11. You don't need to necessarily will out on the shards. If you want to, great, especially because I think she's probably going to be needed for Darth Revan. I don't know that that's going to happen, but if I were a betting man, that's where I'd place my money. And so having her at 7 stars is not going to hurt you. But if you're not able to do that, 3-4 stars should be fine. I mean, that's where every Bastila you see here is no Zeta, 3-4 stars. Very, very nice to see that. And having her at gear 11 with good mods, decent speed, should be sufficient to take out some of those Revan teams in Territory Wars, which will be a huge benefit to your guild. All right, my friends, I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know again what some of your thoughts are down in the comments below. What compositions are you running with Bastila Shan Fallen? I'm showing a few different ones here, mostly with Trey Elite as the base. I know Palpatine sounds like it's working as well. What else is potentially working against Revan? How else are you guys using this character? And what compositions do you guys want to see? I still do not have a test account. I'm in the drought. I'm thirsty. I'm ready to have my test account back so I can try this stuff out for you. But until then, I am harassing people on the internet for footage so that I can still get you guys these videos. And I hope that the 4 guys who helped out with this footage give you some valuable information so you can know whether or not you want to invest in the character or not. Let me know again what you think in the comments. If you have not subscribed to the channel, my friends, hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you can be aware when I'm sharing videos right away. And as always, my brothers, don't forget
my dead body. Sorry about the mess.